Everybody pray for me. It's been a day for me. Yeah.
Alright, Guardians, this week at Bungie, April 4th, 2019, we're getting ready for some high voltage. Storm's brewing. Next week we'll kick off what we've been calling Arc Week. Our goal for this happening has been to take the element that makes our sandbox crackle and put it under a microscope. The most noticeable update is that we improved many Arc subclass paths from the time before Forsaken. The week will also feature Arc Singe and Arc Bounties to synergize with your updated abilities. To provide a proving grounds for all this new energy, Mayhem will be available in the Crucible to let you experiment with your enhanced Arc abilities using shockingly short cooldowns. Arc Week will also feature one of the most powerful Arc weapons ever created, the Thunderlord Exotic Machine Gun. If you weren't able to complete the quest and obtain Thunderlord last year, you'll have from April 9th to the 23rd to revisit the Cosmodrome and add it to your collection. Alright, let's kick this thing off with the changes for the Striker Code of the Juggernaut. This is for the bottom tree Striker Titan. Frontal Assault now increases all weapon damage for the duration of the buff. 25% against combatants and 20% against players. Duration increased from 10 seconds to 16 seconds. Buff timer is now displayed on the HUD. And for the perk Knockout, a melee damage bonus increased from 25 to 60%. Now also triggers once you have dealt 60% damage to a target. Any damage done after 60% will refresh the timer. Still also triggers off shield pop. No longer consumed after one melee attack. The duration is increased from 3 to 5 seconds. Now we have the Arc Strider Way of the Warrior. This is the top tree Arc Strider. For the perk Combination Blow, bonus melee damage can now be stacked 3 times. Requires a melee ability kill for each stack. Buff increases melee damage by 60 per stack in PvE. And buff increases melee damage by 22.7 per stack in PvP. For comparison, this ability used to be 1 stack and increase melee damage by 50%. Kills with this ability now heal 40 points of health in addition to starting health regeneration. And as for Deadly Reach, increased buff duration from 6 to 8 seconds. The buff is no longer consumed by one melee hit. Alright, now we have the Arc Strider Way of the Wind. This is the bottom tree Arc Strider. The Disorienting Blow. Increase the disorient distance by 50%. Increased duration of disorient on players from 1.5 all the way to 2 seconds. For the Focus Breathing perk, increased dodge recharge bonus while sprinting by 100%. Pretty big increase. For the Combat Meditation perk, increased bonus grenade and melee regeneration while bloodied by 25%. For the Lightning Reflexes perk, increased damage resistance while dodging from 25 to 40% in PvP. Increased damage resistance while dodging from 63 to 70% PvE. Alright, now we get to the Warlocks. For the Stormcaller Stormtrance Super, top and bottom path. Damage scales up to 150% over 5 seconds of continuous use of the attack. Updated effects and audio to support this functionality. So if you guys are holding down your Stormtrance for more than 5 seconds, you're going to be dealing over 150% more damage. Pretty beefy. Now the Stormcaller Attunement of Conduction, the top path. The Chain Lightning melee can now chain up to 5 times up from 1. Holy Jesus. And each individual target can be hit twice. Chain damage decreased from 50 to 31 damage per chain hit. So it looks like they buffed it a bunch by the number of people you can hit, but they like scaled back the damage just a tad to compensate for that. That's still pretty good. Now the Arc Web perk can now chain to many more targets and back and forth between targets. The amount of chaining varies based on use, and I will leave it to you all to discover. Increased chain range from 10 to 12 meters. Chaining arc damage now reduces the cooldown of your grenade. Works with arc web chains and chains from chain lightning melee. That's a lot of chains. Earn 3% energy per instance of chain damage in PvE. Earn 10% energy per instance of chain damage in PvP. Moving on to the Stormcaller Attunement of Elements, the bottom path. The Electrostatic Surge perk increased bonus regeneration rate of Rift by 600% per nearby friendly guardian. Oh my god. This sounds insane and it's a big boost. You will definitely feel it, but it was previously very low. Okay. Extends rift duration from 15 to 20 seconds. This is good. Added a UI notification for when the buff is active. The Arc Soul Buddy for bottom path extended the duration by 50%. Well, I have been rocking my bottom tree Stormcaller a lot lately because of the Getaway Artist gauntlets, and it looks like they're about to get a whole lot better. Now, let's talk about some non-arc changes. The Voidwalker Nova Warp Super. Clearly, we swung a bit hard when we hit this previously. This should serve as a nice middle ground to settle into. Alright, let's see. They reduced initial charge detonation energy cost by 20%, that's good. Reduced energy cost of holding the charge detonation by 7%, that's good. Reduced the time required to fully charge the charge detonation from 0.9 to 0.7 seconds, also very good. Reduced dark blink cost by 20%, thank you. Increased base super duration from 18 to 22 seconds, so we got 4 more seconds. Alright, looks like I'm gonna finally get to go back home to Nova Warp. And for the Dawnblade Everlasting Fire perk, they tuned the amount of super gain from Everlasting Fire. Initial return increased 10 to 13 super energy. Return then decays linearly over the course of 30 kills from 13 to 0.75 return per kill. So it's still very strong, but they made it so it can't last forever, just like the Striker Titan. And they also add a note down here. What about Spectral Blades? We know it's out of bounds and we're working right now on a few tweaks to bring it back in line. We'll let you know the details once we finish the playtesting and tuning to lock it in on what the changes will be. So it looks like we got a bunch of Hunter mains down at Bungie and they're gonna let Spectral Blades run rampant. But that is it for all of the ability changes in this next update coming out. You guys can expect this on Tuesday, April the 9th. They will undergo maintenance, and update 2.2.1 is scheduled to go live. No downtime is expected during this maintenance. However, players who have not yet updated to version 2.2.1 by 1 PM PDT will be returned to the title screen. Then it says 9 AM PDT, Destiny 2 service maintenance is scheduled to begin. Will begin rolling out across all platforms. Destiny companion features will be unavailable. So make sure you got all your weapons on you from Destiny Item Manager. At 1 PM PDT, Destiny 2 service maintenance is scheduled to conclude. Players who have not yet installed 2.2.1 will be removed from activities and returned to the title screen. At 1:15 PDT, Destiny companion features will be re-enabled. And as of right now, that is all you need to know about the abilities and what time this update is going down. I'm Pay to Be Famous. If you guys found this helpful, leaving a like really does help me out. Subscribe if you're new. I'll catch you guys around the channel. Peace!